is raggedy. And what God does when Israel sinned, and their sin was some serious sin. Sinned against God because they chose to worship Baal. And let me just give you the Cliff Note version because you didn't come. Maybe this will make you want to come. Baal worship was a prostitutional worship. Now, do you want to learn more? You want to learn more? Yeah. Baal worship was the fact that they would bring prostitutes in the church and make it part of the worship. You ought to see the looks on your face. Somebody, I ain't going to tell you no more either. Somebody's sitting there, they're saying, well, doggone. I thought my family was jacked up. Making this up, you better come and study. See, just getting a sermon is one thing, but being able to ask a question and getting your mind blown by the answer, that's another thing, because when you get the answers, it sets you free so that you can walk and appoint yourself and do what God has called you to do, but it allows you to realize that I ain't the only one that got some stuff in my life, and God still decides to use me. Let me get to the text. Let me get to the text. Israel. I was trying to prove a point. Let me get to the text. Israel has always been known as God's chosen. But all throughout Scripture, they have practiced idolatry. And God has a problem with that because it was Israel who he led across the Red Sea. And you mean to tell me that you pick her and it over me? God sends calamity and destruction into their lives. And in the book of Judges, they'll begin to pray and they'll say, God, if you get us out of this, we won't ever do this anymore. And God will send in a judge to get them out. The judge gets them out. They get back on top. Things begin to go. The money gets right. The relationship's right. And all of a sudden they go back to doing what they used to do when God brought them out the first time. And when they get back, when they get to the bottom, they get to the rock bottom, they begin to pray the same prayer. God, if you get me out of this one, I promise I won't do it again. And God sends in another judge. The judge comes in, takes them out of the situation. They do good for a little while, and after a while, when things get bad, they forget where they come from. They go right back to what they like to do, and they begin to pray the same prayer. God, if you get me out of here, I promise I won't do this again. And God sends in a judge to bring them out.